Hi everyone, it's Paul here again with another episode of whatever this is. Let's call it Tech Bites. Yes, that's now its official name. It's in the books. This is going to be just a quick summary of the recent phishing attacks that have happened at the Faculty of Education and the whole university. I want to talk a little bit about what the ramifications of that are and how to keep yourself safe, and maybe a little bit about how to identify some of these phishing emails that are coming through. And I also want to talk a little bit about eTV, which is this fantastic new service on campus. It's something that we've talked about a bit, and we've sent out some emails about, popped a few things on the staff notice board, but I think it's a great resource, and I really do want to evangelize it to as many people as possible. And of course, this is recorded in Google Hangouts, which is another wonderful new technology. And this will go straight into our YouTube channel. Hopefully this will become something that works its way into your curriculum, maybe as a teaching tool. I don't want to do nothing but push Google technologies, but this is a pretty cool one. Okay, so having said that, let's start with phishing emails. So just recently, the university has been exposed to a number of Nigerian-based phishing attacks. Now, a phishing email, if you're not aware, is when an email appears that tries to get your username and password. Now, to get that, it needs you to type those details into a web form. The traditional way of doing that is to trick you into clicking on a link that will take you to a page with a username and password field that looks a lot like the university's username and password field. So it'll often look completely legitimate. Now, typically the email itself will have poor English or will look unusual. Those are excellent signs that it's something you should be suspicious about. You'll often find that the email will purport to come from someone who you might otherwise trust. You can easily protect yourself by simply being skeptical of messages that appear that entice you to click on a link and then log in with your details. That's not something we would typically ask you to do. And if you're unsure about an email, then give us a call or simply look in the URL bar before you type in your username and password. The URL bar is the address bar at the top of the screen. If I share my screen with you now, oh, that's an interesting effect. So I'm going to start a new browser window here. So this is the address bar. And if I log into a University of Waikato web page, so I'll just go to Edlands here. So I'm already logged in. I'm just going to log out. And if I log in again, this is the kind of page that I expect to interact with when I am logging into the university. However, people who create phishing email will often duplicate this page. So they will simply copy and paste our legitimate login page, host it themselves, but when you try and log into it, you're actually just giving your username and password to the spammers. Now, a legitimate page is going to say cookie.waikato.ac.nz at the top, just like this one does. That's called the URL bar. That's the address bar. If it doesn't say that, then there's a very high chance you're on a bad website. So you should, at the very least, stop doing anything until you've verified the page is okay with one of my team. And you can do that by calling 5002 or email soehelp@waikato.ac.nz. And I'll just quickly show you an example of what a phishing email looks like. Here are some screenshots of two of the recent ones. So this is quite a common one. You have one new message from Waikato.ac.nz. We have a lot of weird and obscure services running on campus that may send out messages like this. One of the flags here is that the message is dated 2011. So that's a good indicator that it's probably bad. The second email that's been going around is this one, which looks pretty dodgy. The English in it is rather poor, and the link itself is a bit strange looking. The reason people fell for this one is because it came from compromised accounts that had already been compromised, so they came from a trusted account. This is bad because the scratch that. So why is it so bad that people fall for these phishing scams? Well, when someone has control of your email account, they can send messages as you. That's pretty bad. But what they're doing is they're downloading the contents of your inbox and the contents of your sent box. They're going through and they're scooping up all the email addresses of everybody you've ever corresponded with. And they're sending out these very, very dodgy messages purporting to be from you, saying, help, help, I've been robbed at gunpoint in the Philippines and I need $3,000 into this account. The hotel won't release my passport until I get it. Haven't got a cell phone. Don't bother trying to get in touch with me. Just please send me this money. Now, most people would not fall for that, but if you're an academic who is traveling a lot, maybe it's not that inconceivable, especially if maybe in your email account are the contact details of an elderly or otherwise vulnerable relative who may be enticed to fall for that. Somebody may even know that you are traveling at that point. Sometimes the stars align, the fishes get lucky, and they get a bunch of money out of people. It's also bad because they can copy your entire email account, which means that they can get a copy of any credit card details, any bank account details. If you've ever bought anything on TradeMe, they can scoop up all that information. It's not a good scenario to find yourself in. It means you have to call your bank. You have to let them know that your accounts may be compromised. You also lose that email. They download it and they delete it. So that can be quite an uncomfortable experience for people. So do bear that in mind. This is something we're trying to take some more proactive steps to protect you from. We have a number of schemes in place to try and stop this from happening, but until then, your best weapon is simply caution. So let's move on to a happier topic. I want to talk about eTV. Now, eTV is a fantastic new web-based service that records TV programs around New Zealand. Now, there is a huge repository of recorded content in there already, but you can request your own recording to be made. And it's not just pre-recorded television. It's live TV streaming, Al Jazeera, documentary channels, and it's all free. All you have to do is log in with your University of Waikato credentials. It works from home as well. It works on the iPad. I've been watching documentaries when I'm using the elliptical at the gym. It's just brilliant on my iPad connected to Eduroam. It's a seamless, straightforward, easy process. So I'm going to show you again how that works. So once again, I'm in my browser. I'm going to go to etv.org.nz. So that's etv.org.nz. And this is the web page. I'm going to click login to eTV. And it asks me to select which university I'm from. I'm obviously from the University of Waikato. And here's a password page I can log into. I type my password, which is nice and long because I'm scared of fishes. And I log in. And after a healthy interval, it takes me through to the eTV website. And from here, I can browse through. These are the recordings that have been made recently that they're trying to promote. I can go to live channels. Here's Al Jazeera already trying to start streaming to me. I don't know how well that'll work over Hangouts.
Throughout the day, Army helicopters have circled in the sky. And as the evening set in,
Mohammed Norzi has to go. Here are the stations that are available to me to watch live. Not a great selection at this stage. But what's better is the on-demand section. Under there, I have access to all of the common stations. And these shows that I can watch anytime I like. So imagine I wanted to look at, say, any documentaries we have on the Middle Ages. So I will simply do a search here for Middle Ages. There we go, and it's found for me. The source of the recording is TV1 in this case. Heston's Feast, the Middle Ages. Well, it sounds pretty good. Here's some metadata. Food from the Middle Ages. So there's a lot of content here to watch. Oh, Tony Robinson. He's great. I love his stuff. If you've ever seen Time Team, it's really worth watching. Hey, that's a good search to do. Let's look for Time Team. Time Team. Yes, here we go. So there's lots of recordings for Time Team. Really, really great show. Of course, you can record anything. If we go back to the start page, we can have a look at the recordings that people have requested recently, and you can request one yourself. There's like here, like Campbell Live, Vindaloo Empire. That sounds interesting. And quite often you'll see people who are wanting things recorded with somewhat spurious educational value, like Game of Thrones or Sesame Street. But hey, why not? It's all things that can be taught. So so that's eTV. Feel free to use it. One of the nice things about it is that after you click on it, once you have a recording like this one, Dropout Nation, you can download the file. So you don't just have to watch it in your browser. You can also download it locally to your computer, or even embed it into an EdLink page, so your students can watch it. And your students have the ability to see this as well. And it's a great resource. I don't understand how this is even possible, that they could dodge around copyright like this, but apparently it's perfectly legal. The university has signed up to it, and I love it. It's fantastic. Everyone should be using it. All right, so that's about it from me. Everyone take care with your email. If you have any questions, please get in touch with us on 5002 or email SRE help. And I will talk to you all very soon in episode 3. Thanks a lot.